Welcome to the stream. I am your host, Sleepy Heaton. I really am gonna stick to this 6 o'clock schedule. It's just hard getting used to. So when we left off, we had 2 streams where I was very, very, very happy with the progress that we made in each of them. I think a huge improvement over Riven is that it really doesn't seem... I mean, I'm saying this now, but it doesn't seem like I'm going to get permanently stuck in any way, hopefully. Even the little, they pulled a Riven on me. They Rivened me really good. But they didn't expect me to find, or, you know, it would have been okay if I found the door. But it was okay that I didn't, because, when I wound up coming through the doorway from the other side. So it was one of those like, hey, you could find this on your own, but even if you don't, we'll still give it to you. Is okay, that's fine. I do also remember after I ended the stream, I was like, oh, I never went and read her diary, or the whatever it was. There was some document. There was some book in Farley's house that I didn't read. Because I picked it up and I went, oh, this is a lot. Let's look around first. And then all I did was look around. So sometime later in the stream, I will go back there. I can't even recap everything that we learned last time because there's just too much. Among the other things, we found out that, and I don't know that this will be a puzzle. It would be weird if it was, but the material that those barnacles affix to determines their color. They'll change what color they're glowing based on what they're attached to. Which is maybe just a story way of saying, hey, look, this is how these guys experiment with things. This is just one of the many ways that they found, you know, encountered aliens and interacted with them and went, oh, let's take note of a phenomenon and test it. Okay, so here was this. I did not fool around with this too much because I figured that the correct thing to do was to leave it alone until I found some instructions. I did turn this machine on, so maybe this does do something different now, but... I'll wait until I find something that somebody wrote about that. Now, what am I doing here? I came back here specifically because... Oh, because I know why. Because we wound up in Farley's by going to a particular sphere and... No, this just goes back down. By going to a particular sphere and swapping it. This just goes down here to where we turned this whole thing back on. I don't think this is what I need. This isn't that. I'll also have to keep in mind that at some point, like, it very well may come down to, eventually I'll wind up stuck because there will be something somewhere that, you know, I just never noticed I could go in that direction, right? Very frustrating. There is an option to turn on movement by click, where it's just like there will be little things on the ground, and when you click one of them to move there, as a last resort, I can turn that on and then navigate around a planet by seeing, here are my options, go this way or go this way. A much slower way of getting around the planet, but push comes to shove, that's what you gotta do. There it is. That's okay. It's like last time we got embroiled in all of that, like finding the other part of this planet that I hadn't explored. This is how it was. I never went down this path. Not a clue, not a puzzle, just a metal bolt. Up here. Here's this place that I would really like to get to. You know what I didn't catch before? The purple ring around there, that is the biome from where we started, the whole, like, the outside zone. Purple. Oh, look at this. These are all purple. I wonder if that's what that material, though all of these scales are made out of, that the flags are these, like... Oh, and look up there. That's how you get across. There is a... Do I know how to get up there? If this goes up or down, I don't know how to ride it. Oh, I did ride. Okay, sorry. I'm still waking up. I remember. I went over there, got in the car, and rode it over here. And then it was like, But I've already been over here. Oh, now I see. There's places over here I can go. This way is blocked. Strange black paint there. Oh, right. They paint on the walls. We've seen that. And by they, I'm gonna have to go back and review my history, but I think there was a separate race on this planet that built all this stuff for the what do they call the Ark? The Beetle people had like 3 forms. They go from Barnacle to Beetle to Pentarch or something. Right, so we did... And when we came through here before, we commented on, like, they make sure when you come through here, obviously you're going to be facing forward at least a little bit, and it's like, oh, here's something that's visually... it's something that it definitely draws your eye immediately. Right in the middle of the frame, bones in a very stripy pattern, and it prompts you to go, hey, make sure you look, hey, there's something even a little more interesting to the right and up, so that it's super hard to miss this. And normally you would say, well, it's a giant skeleton thing. Of course you're going to look at it. No, you're not. No, you're not. And is this the edge of the... Why is there... There's like a big... That over there is where the tree place starts. I think this is just cut off in a way, like this is the edge of the sphere. And we're seeing the inside of a tree root? Did not notice that before, but that's interesting. That's blocked. That's blocked. Oh yeah, this is totally the edge, because look. Step into it and warp. We're over here and found that one, which led to the thing where you can't go anywhere, but we manipulated a little thing and opened the door. So at some point we can go back, I hope, go back to the plant land and go through where the door used to be. But the other reason that I wanted to come here is we're going to see the other part of Farley's basement. Yep, this is what this originally looked. I mean, originally not originally in game time, but originally in Swapolation. This was like this, and Marley's basement, the Riven corridor. Oh, hello, Everax. Oh my god, yeah, I was just sitting here talking to myself and not looking over at the chat at all. I did absolutely just wake up. But this game, I gotta play it. Alright, so we did not learn much here. The way was indeed blocked, and is now blocked again, and now, in order to unblock it, I'm going to have to swap back out. As long as we're here, let's read the... Oh, I didn't notice the scissors. Whoops. JM. So whoever the J is was female, and whoever the M was male. I forgot Farley's first name. Maybe it'll be in the book. Ms. Farley. No, that's CF. I don't know any C's. We're gonna learn a sad story, I'm sure. Don't discover anything significant. I will hold off on reading this book for 60 seconds. The other thing that I find very neat that I didn't think, it was another... This game makes you think off stream. When her house got teleported here, actually, no. No. I was misremembering. Off stream, I was thinking... Off stream, I was thinking that this was her basement. Like, this was the basement of the house, and it wound up, like, getting teleported in. And I thought, oh, the house, the sphere around the house got teleported in, and that was the main floor and the basement, but the stairs to the basement didn't come along. So in order to get down here, they had to tunnel through the rock and then eventually get here. But this does not appear to be part of the house. This is just a cavern that they went and put a bunch of what do you call them? Supports? Went and put a bunch of supports here in order to make it a storage area, or, you know, a room. Oops. Also, just in case, I'm gonna write that down. Cerberus. B.S. Wolf. Yeah, going back over stuff that I found last time. Because I wanted to see what happens, like what happens when you swap this back. And it's just rock. But I also wanted to come down here to find this book, because it was full of stuff, and I was like, I can't read this just yet. So now we're going to read it. 15997 AH. The villain. I can't find the words. It's such a foreign life cycle. Or perhaps not. They launch themselves across the expanses of space, preserved for aeons, until at last their technological arcs can hone in and carry them to a new home. They have no connection with their predecessors, but in spite of this, or perhaps because of this, they have amazing recollections of their history. Their stories are epic, reaching back through the eons. Unlike many of us who were abducted, they were abducted as a whole. Their scoop moved an entire facility that was about to be annihilated. I have come to believe that they, perhaps more than any of us, have a deeper understanding of whatever this strange system is that we find ourselves in. 16333 AH. I need to write this down. We buried Ji Aeon today. This place never really agreed with her, kept to herself mostly, depressed and downcast. Anyway, I digress. I stayed after the brief words were spoken. I was the last to leave. I wandered to the dome, as I often do, and looked out at the undulating saurian weirdness beyond the cell wall. Movement caught my eye. Now, in very rare occasions, we've seen Mofangs scrambling about in the distance. AH, I'm presuming, is how they count the days. It's their date system. We know that. That seems to be, I'm gonna guess because there are so many of them, that's one day on this planet, which I don't know how long days are on this planet. Could be 24 hours, could be less, could be more. On very rare occasions, we've seen Mofang scrambling about in the distance, but there have been fewer and fewer sightings over the years. But before me was a tall, haggard Mofang, running desperately, almost directly toward me from one of the distant structures. It, I still can't tell the gender, got closer and closer. I thought it would see me and stop, or turn around, or be curious about this strange dome and our world inside it. But it continued running quickly, almost directly to my position. Oh, do we know what AH stands for? Not a clue. Not at all. Alien heliocentric. I was frozen in place with curiosity until my reflexes took over at the last moment and I leapt out of the way. But rather than hit the dome, or fall backward, or come through into Hunrath, the dome flashed its familiar tone and the Mofang vanished. I was stunned for a bit, but I retrieved my wits and stepped into the dome myself to quickly get to the other side. After getting through, I immediately turned around and saw the Mofang outside on the other side of the dome, still running away from whatever it feared, but as if it had no sense of passing around the dome. Weird? Okay, so this, if we didn't know already, this is where we could have found out that stepping into the dome teleports you to the opposite side, even though it's, like, once you've activated it so that works, it's pretty, as soon as you walk up to the edge of the dome, you see it change. Which is, again, a really neat way for them to communicate that you should step into it. As if it had no sense of passing around the dome. Which, that is super curious because it suggests that maybe, I had asked before, on Earth, surely there must be like a Mofang settlement now where that, where the thing used to, where this village, what's it called, Hartnell? Where Hartnell used to be. It's like, oh, well, I guess in this world, in 1903, a bunch of Mofang showed up on Earth. So isn't it weird that none of the people, like us or anybody else, knew about that? Here we go. Oh, maybe they don't. As surprising as the event was, it did serve to settle a few things in my mind. I always wondered how no one on Earth noticed what had replaced this chunk of Arizona we have here. Yeah, I should have just read ahead. A settlement? This was like the original swap, the big swap, got this whole, yeah, I don't know if you would call it I don't know if you want to call it a town or whatever, but there were 100 and something people living there. So yeah, it's I forgot the name. I think the name of it is Hartnell. All right, 16772 AH. I've got to vent. Again, there are those who argue with me. Over and over, I demonstrate that in almost every case, whatever the process was that brought us here, it occurred at a pivotal moment. They tell their stories, and they still can't admit that the abduction actually saved each of us. All of us. What is it in human nature that grasps so strongly to the past that we blame our survivors for stealing it from us? Okay, just one more vent before bed. If each of us was saved, it was individually saved from something, then maybe all of us were corporately saved from something larger. Can we really be sure what's left? And this, the arrivers come from various places and times. Sarah got here almost 15 years ago from the year... There is time travel involved. Almost 15 years ago from the year 2055, and Uziel got here 2.5 years ago from 1942. What does that mean? Time here is shuffled and chaotic compared to Earth. What state is Earth in right now? When is Earth right now? That is really interesting. And when I first saw the train yard and the gas station, I was like, ooh, this is timey-wimey. It's pulling stuff from different parts in Earth's history. But then after exploring for a bit, I went, oh, no. Okay, no, this has been going on for 150 years, and it started with the big thing, and then some other times this swap happened and this swap happened. And I just presumed, yeah, later each swap was from a different Earth year or whatever. No, not the case. 16787 AH. It's 3:15 a.m. How do you know that? And I feel compelled to journal this craziness. After spending most of yesterday meditating with the RI, and then most of this evening discussing the nature of these worlds with CW, I had just a sip of infamous Hunrath hooch and collapsed in my chair. Well, I just awoke from a dream. I'm not one who puts a lot of credibility in dreams, but maybe the RI were able to move something in me to understand. Or possibly, because of the intense discussion, my subconscious mind was triggered to be able to sort out some logical connections. Or maybe it was the hooch. The dream. I was tending a garden, an immense garden, and it wasn't for food or flowers, it was just about the health of the garden. I kept working and working to control it and contain it and make it healthier, but the garden seemed to fight me at every turn. And after what seemed like days of work, I finally gave up in frustration, and as I stood there, doing nothing, the garden flourished before my eyes, growing and spreading in every direction. Because, I realized, the system that the plants were based on was not about me shaping and controlling. The natural system of plants is healthier when they are out of control, and when they are free to spread and intermingle and cross-pollinate and mutate. Now, from a human point of view, I may not provide what I want. I get smaller fruit and smaller flowers and untidiness, but from the point of view of the plants, they grow stronger and much more resilient and resistant. The more they are scattered, the higher their odds of surviving. And now that I contemplate, I realize that even the individual plants and seeds may not appreciate the benefit of what's happening. They are torn, far from their origins, forced into situations that seem extreme, possibly even destroyed by these new environments. But for the seeds that survive, now that's where the real growth, strength, and abundance comes from. It's so beautiful and terrifying. Beyond the beauty of it all is a system and structure that defies understanding. Okay, what if this is all a natural process? There are signs of something behind it all, but well-hidden signs. So, well, if I look at all this, the cell, the tree, the water, the seeds, the hub, the health, even the abductions, well, there seems to be a grand system or plan. The plan doesn't take me into account. It is unemotionally intent on the health of something much bigger. That may hurt my feelings, but Well, what am I in the entire scheme of the universe? I have no idea what, if anything, might have put this process into motion, but that is irrelevant. Tomorrow I will talk with CW. He could be swayed from his battery plan. 17145 AH. I really don't journal much. I came to write this down because I am distraught. As I contemplate the plan that I have set in motion, I realize that I have become the destroyer of worlds. Oh, that's Heisenberg? Heidegger? Who was it? Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. Ah, I forget who. I sat down to write, to seek some cathartic tranquilization, and I realized the last thing I journaled was some esoterically beautiful philosophy about letting this garden grow. Not so reaffirming or calming. But nevertheless, here is my reasoning, because I must write this down. Simply, it's us or them. Complexly, if this is some kind of garden, and we're the plants or seeds or whatever, well, some of us have gotten together and decided that we're the better choice to survive. If the others have unilaterally decided... Oh. Some of us have decided that we're the better choice to survive. If the others have unilaterally decided that we all won't survive. I am more fit, damn it. This is not me. I want to be calm and garden, or ungarden, or grow, or... What gives one species the right to destroy another species? Who gets to choose? Do I just lay down and die because the more aggressive species thinks they're better, more powerful? What brutal scale do I use to measure the good of some against the life of others? Does love ever destroy in order to help more survive? To help love itself survive? Oppenheimer. What did I say? I said Heisenberg. But he took that from from something I've never heard of. Bhagavad Gita. So we know from way back, and I'll maybe even have to go and listen to her recording again or listen to something else again, but they were at war, at some kind of war with the Mofang. Does that even make sense? Can I kill because I think it will bring about more love? What if I'm not even capable of understanding the situation of hate versus love? Maybe I am the hater. Do I generate this love delusion to help me maintain my sanity in light of the choice I've made? My God, it's too much. If these are just my walls of delusion, then I choose to live within them. I am a seed scattered by the wind, but I will not simply be trampled. I will kick and scream and survive. May God have mercy on my soul. And that's the end of that. Okay. So we didn't get any concrete information that's gonna help us solve a puzzle. But we did learn that she was in opposition to whatever CW's battery plan was, and we already knew that everyone else here, maybe, apparently, left in some way, and CW stayed behind. He left a letter in her mailbox saying, hey, you guys have been gone for 5 days. Birds or something? You guys have been gone for 5 days, which I think is a bad sign. Wherever they had gone, maybe the plan was to come back and say, okay, we did it and it's safe, so come through. Or something. He's like, yep, so it's just me now. Oh, there are the things, the flying things. Oh, I'm over here now? Hold on. This isn't the way I thought I went. How did I get here as opposed to where I thought I was going to get to? Ah, by going up these stairs instead of down. I really love this visual here. This bluish rocky sphere. Can I get over there? Not quite. Okay, this was how I got here. That's how I came in. Just trying to... 700 verse Hindu scripture in Sanskrit is part of the Hindu Mahabharata. So I can get really close to this, but I can't enter it. Can't long jump. Maybe after I get the screw attack, I'll be able to. All right, this was this. And over there leads to that. So somehow I just never noticed the stairs going up. Very well. Or is this gonna lead... This might lead me somewhere I've never been. It did lead me somewhere I've never been, and I got to drop a ladder. So this, alright, this right here, I just gotta get my bearings. If I come over here, here's the Russian... No? Okay, this is where we turned on the power. I looked over and was like, why aren't you the Russian? Wait, was this how I got here? This is how I got here. It is the Russian. What? What? I'm... Still plugged in. Alright, so we've never been in this elevator. Why is this stuff? Did that just... Okay, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on to your butts. It's attached? It's attached. Okay. Why would anyone do such a thing? We don't know. We don't know, and we'll never find out. Here we go. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Pretty cool. I tried to jump. There's no jumping in this game. So I can activate this sphere. But what's it gonna take? It's gonna take all of this somewhere. Where is this? Where is this and where are we gonna go? Oh my gosh, you know where we're gonna go? You know where we're gonna go? We're gonna go to the place that's outside the train yard. That big sphere there. Because we're obviously gonna get a thing that's gonna be lots and lots of solid stone with a couple of doors. Like a couple of exits. That's where we're going. And that's why you need to rotate it. Let's look around and see that greenery. Show me those trees. Look at that. What did I tell you? Okay, so there's nowhere that we want to get from here. Like, oh, I want to run across this platform to the whatever. No. What we want to do is, I did not take note of how many times we want to rotate it. Oh, and this is, this could be a little bit tedious because it takes so long to load from one zone to the other. First of all, how many clicks to do a full rotation? How many pillars are there here? So this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And clicking the button probably moves everything one pillar. So 45 degrees. Yes. Right, so we've done 90 degrees counterclockwise. Now let's go and swap again. So this was some big artificial sphere that they created. It said we're gonna swap this and I don't know what. Could it be for counterweight? The Russian box. I mean, everything in there is already so, like, they could have just used more metal. Alright. So that was incorrect. We were supposed to do 2 more, unless that's not something I can walk through, right? Bonk. No. And it did not provide us with either one of these being a correct exit. So let's rotate. That's where I came in. Yes? No. Where did I must have, if this rotation is correct, I must have come in over here. Does that look real? Can't see. Alright. So we're going to go back. We're going to rotate it 2 more times. You're randomly guessing. That's fine. I decided I am going to pick up Baba Is You, and that'll replace our Saturday games. After Snakebird chews me up and spits me out, we'll replace Snakebird with Baba Is You, which is a delightful puzzle game that I played the first version of. So I was worried that there was going to be more experimentation necessary. Still no lower exit. But the upper exit goes to somewhere new. And a little stutter right there. Hey, Somi. And yeah, the music is a little ominous. It was before, too. This, I think, was the music that already played on this planet a bunch. Where do I want to go, though? Alright, let's go down here. This has got to be a place that I couldn't have reached before. Wait. Oh, okay. It's okay. This door was I came over here before and was like, "Oh, there's a locked door." Now it's no longer locked. This over here is just that over here should be the if I go down, should be the place where we can see the chair, The folding chair? Precisely. Okay. It's got my hair curled up. Am I a mess? Okay, so let's go back down, rotate it one more time, and then hopefully the downstairs will bring us somewhere. And if not, I'll just have to figure something else out. Find some other place to explore. The green planet, tree planet. Do. You didn't mean that. Oh, my natural hair is because of this game. But to answer your question, I would not say that this is scary. It is atmospheric and occasionally not tense. There haven't been any jump scares or anything. So this is Obduction. It's by the same people who made Myst and the Myst series of games. And I streamed Myst and Riven, and I really liked them, especially Riven. We're pretty far into this. Even though it's only been 2 sessions, so less than 6 hours, we're like... They've done... Naturally, because it's them, they've done a good job of making the world feel like there are I'm finding increasingly many ways to get around it. So hopefully this last rotation actually does take us somewhere new, because otherwise this is just a dead end that we found a way to link it back to another part, but for no real use. Also worth noting, we know that there is not one of these seed sphere things. Good, here we go. There is not one of those seed sphere things. That's a beetle, not a spider. Don't be afraid. The upstairs don't lead anywhere now. Right. Another one of these inside of what we're swapping with. Oh my gosh, have we found this is going to be this is going to be their 3rd evolution. Is this thing going to talk, whatever it is? Or is this just like a breeding ground of some kind? Here's the chair. So I know I'm interested in that, but let's go this way first. Oh, that was right. One of the diary or whatever, or one of the writings that we saw said that there was somebody that would come here to, like, was it Farley who would go to, like, come here supposedly, I guess, to meditate. Yeah, look at how many there are. This must be... This is where Farley would come to meditate and try to understand them. Try to understand if they were communicating. Because they have that low-frequency hum. That's how they communicate. So where does this lead? Oh. Could I not get through here because... Could I have gotten through here while this gear was stopped? Question mark? You know what? If this isn't powering anything, I wonder if the correct thing to do is to leave this one turned off. Because remember there were 4, we were in that weird machine that targeted 4 different things and we could turn them on or off. I wonder if we can get an extra shortcut by finding this one and turning it off. Unless it is powering something important, which it might be. But if we would be able to walk through here... Oh, in fact, maybe I have to do that, because this isn't a shortcut. Over there is something new. That's the tree. This is the tree! Pardon my complete obliviousness. We're standing underneath the tree. This is it. This is the important tree. So we dang well better do that. I need to figure out which of those things needs to be turned off, or turn them all off. Who cares? So that this will stop, because I'm not allowed to dive through. And now for the chair. So this is probably the body of a mofang over here. Yep. We got some notes. I'll look at those in a second. We got a scale that seems to be marked off at 150 pounds, maybe. Okay. The flying beetles, let's call them what they are. There's the 3 stages of their development: barnacle, beetle, and then I need to go back and reread what the 3rd one is called. We haven't encountered it yet, but that's where they exhibit intelligence of some kind. It's something like pentarch, or arc the lad, I don't know. Alright, so folding chair has this number for us: 2, 7, 0, 7, 6, 2, 9, 5, 9, 7, 2, 5, 8, 1, 7, 7, 3, 5, 9. That 5 could almost be a B. I mean, the 8. Funky way to draw an 8. It could be a B. Please read thoroughly. We must have every detail in place. Our lives and our species depend on this being executed perfectly. The locations and times in this document are based on the information leaked by Rucco and Chavar. We've heard one of those names before. I don't remember where we heard Rucco, but I think I've heard it before. Our lives depend on the accuracy of the information we received from them. Remainers. CW, Earth. Trar Aprar Orbar, Marais. Arai, 1 Polyarch, Capdar. Prep. Day 171:43 AH, hour 12, begin chambering. End of day 17146 AR, Farley verifies manifest, All Souls chamber. So this is whoever this was, Farley was part of it. This was her plan that she was talking about. Beginning of day 17148 AH, remainers in place with hands-on swap trigger. Okay, so this is also something CW must have cooperated with. He maybe... I don't know yet whether he went along with their plan reluctantly, or is this something he also wanted? Beginning of day 17148 AH. Ruka and Chavar arrive? Question mark? Chambered by Trar. Beginning of day 17148 AH. Trar on guard of chamber. Trigger time. Day 17148 AR. Hour 5, minute 33. Could vary by plus or minus 4 minutes. Trigger locations, as prescribed. All location should have small error allowance. Mireille has largest margin of error potential. Be alert. Trigger task. Trigger swap immediately after swap. Any delay increases the risk of detonation in a home sphere. Oh. And the risk of a Remainer being disabled in Mofang. Communication. Farley, I'll ensure that all Remainers, or in the case of Kaptar, the remaining Polyarch, receive and understand this document. Oh, Garrett, hello. We're deep in the plot. We're deep in that lore. It said detonation. So it seems like they were trying to fight the... Oh, there's no seed here anymore. I'm trying to... I don't know if we're going to receive more information later or if this is all we get. It looks... So 2 swaps were done. That's why there's this... ring, and it's not a perfect ring. But that's why there's these 2 rings. They swapped and then swapped again with a slight margin of error or whatever. And the plan was to leave behind an explosive device? Yeah, I found the... right, the bathroom. I had been calling it the folding chair room, but I guess the bathroom. Standing on this... I don't know why they have a scale. It doesn't make too much sense to me. I can't manipulate this in any way. And I can't lose 10 pounds. It's unfortunate. I like my Skittles too much. It's just like Portal 2 all over again. With GLaDOS talking about my... The faith plate was not designed to accommodate someone of your generousness. I'll add a couple of zeros.